Hey everybody, so we made it. We're here at Rhythmia in Costa Rica, and we had some technical difficulties. So what we did was we put on some drums, and we did what we know how to do best.
Which is dance.
Is to dance. So we invite you just to take a moment as we wait for a few other people to join our dance, to maybe get up and shake something out, because we have to shake some, issues with technology here. We were supposed to start at 3, and my dear soul brother here, Carrie, I said, why don't we put some music on and just dance? And he's like, you know what? That's exactly what we should do, right?
Yeah, let's raise that vibration up.
Well, I think that's good. I think we've been dancing for quite a while.
I think so. I'm warmed up. What about you?
I'm really good. All right, DJ.
All right.
So now we can take one deep breath together. Exhale out. Ah! And how about you with us? Take a deep breath in. Ah! We made it. We're here. Never too late to come and share. I've got my miracle.
Yes, thank you for your patience.
Thank you for your patience, and thank you for joining. And so it's such an honor to be sitting here and to witness and to have everyone else be of great support and witness to, wow, it's your 3rd time here at Rhythmia.
My 3rd time, and guess what? It's not going to be my last.
Exactly.
I'm going to make this an annual journey to start each year.
You know, what you shared was so powerful, that each and every time you have showed up here, you've gotten your miracle. Yes. And this is the first time that you actually get to go live.
I know, right?
And
it's exciting to share.
Yeah, and you voiced how perfect, and how you used the word synchronistic today when we had a chance to kind of do a miracle. So let us know, tell us.
Well, yeah, it's synchronistic because this environment supports the most beautiful synchronicities, because everyone here is focused on that and focused on their healing and their journey to heal and getting their miracle.
Amazing. And that beautiful, specific miracle this time. Why don't you go ahead and share what that miracle was?
Yeah.
And still is.
Yeah. Well, they say a miracle is but a shift in perspective, and that's definitely what it's been for me. It's been through layers and layers of a similar story. So for me this year, very specifically, it had to do about coming to terms with balancing both my masculine and feminine energies. And because really all of my goal is to come into my strength and my power in all areas of my life. So it's a continual journey, but it's one of both, trying to balance your masculine energies and your feminine energies, and really coming to terms as to what those are and what they mean. So, feminine energies having to do with nurturing and caring and loving, healing energies, and also masculine, which I had to really understand what that meant, which is not so much how strong you are physically, but your strength of character and conviction and integrity. So it really all came together this trip for me, and I'm excited to share it with everyone out there.
Wow. They say that 50% is in ceremonial space, and then 50% is when you go back home.
Yeah.
And so, and how does your trip
Well,
journey?
I'm not home yet,
Yes.
but I have.
You have plans. I know you have plans.
Yeah,
Just because we had so much time to talk.
Yes.
Share the depth of commitment.
Yes.
And consistency.
Well, first off, for me, it had a lot to do with journaling every night's experience, because once you hit Wednesday, there's just so much happening that you can quickly forget what happened 2 days before. That all helps you set clear intentions for when you go home to support that miracle, because really the greatest journey experience that you could have is once you go home. That's going to be when you're going to be tested, because you're not in this beautiful, loving, supportive environment. And I'm up for that challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a few shifts in your physical reality that you're going home to commit to doing.
Yes.
Because you were seen through the miracle that you received here. how best to take that out into the world.
Exactly. And just really be confident in myself. I mean, so many of my other journeys to this point have been about self-love and gaining confidence in myself. And really what I've learned is that I am the essence of both masculine and feminine energies. And I'm happy about that. That's what gives me my strength, and that's what makes me unique in this world.
Wow. Wow. So the balance, the dance between the masculine and the feminine. Yes. So how is that going to translate into some of the new things that you spoke about? I'd love for you to share that more.
Okay. Well, you mentioned it. You said dance. And I always used to love to dance, but I think many people can relate. A lot of places you might like to go to dance are closed. But I realized that dancing helps me to shake out a lot of stiffness and rigidity that I hold in my body. And I can, guess what? I can turn up the music as loud as I want in my house and stomp as loud as I want. And that really just helps me come to life.
Amazing.
And I'm going to commit to doing that every week.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
So also you had a visitation.
I did.
And I think you're grabbing your phone to show everybody this visit.
Yeah, I'll put this picture up there. Hopefully the camera can see it, but it was a very symbolic story, and often my journeys here are just that, very symbolic. So hopefully you can see that if I hold it and let the camera focus a little bit. But I'll sort of tell you how that that night unfolded. Now I will say I did not edit this photo at all. There you go, got it. So anyway, the medicine had called me to get up from my mat and go outside under these beautiful Costa Rican skies and sort of go on a little, let's say, scavenger hunt of, in my mind, masculine pursuits. So one of the first things it did was draw me to the outside fire area. And here, instead of having downspout gutters, you have chains that come all the way down. And I noticed when I grab onto them, it's very grounding for my energy. And then they have rocks down beneath it, so I can ground myself in the earth. And once I started doing that and breathing, then the music started playing. And I was actually using the chains to make noises and to make music with. And that was, I just felt very creative to, you know, have had the thought to use really anything as music.
Wow.
So that was the first bit of the journey, and it ended with me behind that space where there is a wall, and I saw my shadow. But not only did I see my shadow, but I saw a highlight line that you may have seen in that photo going all the way down the center of my body. And I noticed that it wasn't quite in the center, and I shifted until it was exactly in the center of my body. And to me, that was the perfect symbolism for finding the balance between both masculine and feminine energies, which makes us all whole and one, and where my power ultimately lives.
I mean, it's a miracle. It was like captured on your camera. The miracle of the balance of the masculine and feminine, that's confirmation.
It really is.
And I find that to be like so humbly respectful from spirit to give you that gift so that you can trust and have faith in the unseen, which became very seen.
Exactly. Like, I did not take that picture that evening, and I wondered if it was all in my head or would it be there the next day if I came back at a similar time and tried to take a picture. So the funny thing is, that highlight line was there, and obviously my shadow appeared, but what I wasn't expecting is the photo to come out even more powerful with more of an aura around it than was the experience that night. Yeah, so that really is going to help me anchor the experience, something I can always look back on and remember what really became part of my miracle.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow. So, how else do you feel that the Rhythmia Way supported you in getting this miracle?
I mean, besides just this sprawling, beautiful environment under the Costa Rican sun. I mean, in one part, it is like a vacation for me. It's how I like to start the year. The other part is really establishing a beautiful journey to begin this new year, which we all are looking forward to after last year.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I find that, coming to Rhythmia and being able just to disconnect for a moment of time and really focus in community and working with the collective, with your higher mission and your soul's purpose is again, it's just in itself the miracle of life.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious with the Rhythmia Way, with the different workshops for you, what would you like to share with them?
Sure. I mean, it's not the #1 rated resort on TripAdvisor for nothing.
Right.
There are thousands and thousands of people that comment similarly to what I'm about to say. And it's not just about the plant medicine that you take for 4 evenings. It's about everything that supports the journey. It's the breath work, it's the classes where you get to share with other people and get feedback to reinforce your experience. And something that maybe doesn't get talked about as much is just getting together, whether it be with the other people at lunch or at the pool, and we really become each other's counselors. And one time maybe I'm listening to you, the next time you're listening to me, and there's nothing. It's often overlooked, but so powerful. Just connecting to people that you don't know them one day, and by the time you leave, they're some of your best friends that you're committed to staying in touch with and helping support the miracles that you receive here.
It's incredible how you come as a quote unquote as a stranger, and then you become one big soul family.
It's really true. I've always to this point have come to Rhythmia by myself, but I look back and say, oh yeah, I came there with a bunch of friends. Because after, especially the first breathwork session on Sunday or the first plant medicine journey on Monday, it's such a connection, and that connection just continues to deepen with every day that you're here. And before you know it, it's Saturday or Sunday when it's time to leave, and guess what? I don't want to leave.
Well, you haven't really left because you keep on coming back.
That is
right.
That is
this is his third time for people who are just chiming in right now, and so we thought this would be a perfect example of someone who is ever so committed to his healing process, his healing journey, and showing up each and every time and saying yes, and that yes brings you so far into really receiving that miracle.
It does, and the universe supports that work. So when you're here and you're putting in the work with the classes, or even a massage, going to the spa and getting massage and relaxing to get yourself rested and refreshed and renewed for that night's journey. To me, even though some of those journeys have been difficult in certain points, I miss them when I go home, because they're better than any dream that I have ever had, and I look to come back again.
Let's talk a little bit about
Okay. Let's get into
the
it.
challenge. We have to go into the darkness when we do this work in order to retrieve the light.
Yeah.
And so why don't you share a little bit about that part of your journey?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, because I think a lot of us don't like to admit that we have any darkness. That we're often said that we're light workers that come here and do this work. Like I said, it's not easy. But I was committed in this journey because I actually got to bring a friend this time, my best friend. And I was committed to him knowing me fully and wholly, 100%. And really openly trusting someone to that level, really for one of the first times. And along with that was a period where I had to apologize for something that I did. It wasn't a major thing, but it was something that I had to ask for his forgiveness. And he gave me that forgiveness, and it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders and helped us to connect and grow our friendship.
On that note, I'd like to voice that it's very powerful coming with a family member or a dear best friend, and yet you can come here and do the work on behalf of your family or friends. Because when you work on yourself in this depth of way and enter into those challenging parts of you and you start to heal those parts of you, you're actually healing energetically lineages.
Exactly.
You know? And so it's profound.
Yeah, there were 2 families that were here this year. One with 3 siblings, 3 brothers, of which they made me an honorary brother, and then the other family, both a brother and sister, who I became very close with because of their families came here together, and to see that healing together was a very beautiful thing.
Well, you know, it goes back to the fact that our souls have been contracted to come here and do this work. And so just what you described now of that deep bond is precious and
It
so
really is
beautiful.
sacred. Yeah. And to witness that, to, you know, every evening to see them come together as a family and heal as a family, I would just can only hope, you know, for my family to do something similar one day.
Amazing. So what would you say to one of the very many viewers out there that would maybe say, oh, no, I'm scared of plant medicine. That's not for me. What would be a good wisdom share, teaching, invitation that you could share?
Well, first off, Rhythmia is not solely about plant medicine. So if you or your family member have some hesitation, that's okay. Come. You still can get so much healing, even to a miracle status, just by doing breath work, or any and all of these other combinations of healing therapies. So that's one thing off the bat. But otherwise, I would say, don't be afraid. Think positively about the miracles that have been noted and that have been talked about, and just breathe and let it go and trust the process. Because that's exactly what has always worked out for me.
Such a beautiful whole person healing,
Thank
a
you,
divine
thank you.
merging of the masculine and feminine, ready to go out into the world and be a light warrior, a light worker, which he already is, you already
Yeah,
are, and
thank
yet
you.
even more strong and ready for the next chapter of your life.
That's true. Watch out.
Is there anything else you would love to inspire our wonderful movers and shakers over there?
Well, I have to pay tribute to you as
Oh.
my dance instructor this week. Doing our blindfolded dancing really was liberating and freeing, not just for me, but for so many of the other people here. So I appreciate that, and I will keep on dancing.
Yes. Put that blindfold on at home and put on those drums that we danced
Yes.
to.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it was a beautiful week, and I appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing your absolute divine miracle of life.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being patient with us. I want to thank Sylvia behind the scenes.
Thank you,
She
Sylvia.
always just miraculously makes things work for everybody. So I want to honor her, and it's so precious to be here with you. Thank you, everyone. And oh yes, and there is at the bottom there, right? There, if you would like to book, there's a number at the bottom. So do give us a call, and any question you have in your heart will be answered. We're here to serve and for you to receive your miracle. Thank you.
Get here. Get to Rhythmia.
Okay. I think I need you to shut it off, Sylvia. Sorry.
I enjoyed that.
Right?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.